to run again for Minnesota. We've got an update for you. Run with us on NFL Live. Well, hi, everybody, and welcome into another edition of NFL Live. As always, glad you are here with us. Trey Wingo here with Tim Hasselbeck. Jerry Rice is here. Chris Carter is here. Bounty. Let's just get that out right now. Listen, bounties in the NFL, what they really are, how long they've been in the NFL, and what do we really mean when we use that term. Tuesday night, Chris, you appeared on the Hill and Stars radio show on ESPN Radio and had this to say.
And I can say, I'm guilty of it. I mean, it's the first time I've admitted it, but I put a bounty on guys before. I put bounties on guys. And the guys try to take me out, the guy try to take a cheap shot on me, I put a bounty on him right now.
A money bounty?
Absolutely.
You told one of your teammates that if
Man, protect.
Go get him.
Man, protect me from him.
Really?
Unless if he's playing a different position where I can't protect myself.
Mm-hmm. So if he's a linebacker, you would tell a lineman.
I tell one of them guards. Hey, man, this dude is after me, man. Bill Romanowski. He told me he's going to take me out before the game. Warm up, no problem. I'm going to end your career, Carter, no problem. I put a little change on his head before the game. Protect myself, protect my family. That's the league that I grew up in.
And that happened around the league. That you weren't the only person to do anything like that.
Heck no. Did you have to realize the league we grew up in, the bounty was based on protection or big hit, excitement, or for helping your team win. It wasn't to maim or hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
When a guy said he was going to hurt me, my recourse was to put a bounty on him to make sure. When a guy says he's going to end your career, he don't say that just arbitrary. It ain't like that just slipped out of his mouth and like, oh, I'm sorry I said it. That's what you call that line that you're on, like, when you go over that line.
Mm-hmm.
And when a guy said, Bill Romanowski said that to me in the game, at the beginning of the game. So I had to put a bounty on him.
Okay, so let's discuss this, Chris. And first of all, I think people need to understand, when we hear the word bounty now, in light of what the NFL is alleging that the Saints did during that 3-year time period, they automatically associate it to pay for pain or pay for injury. Is that what you were talking about here?
Well, the NFL, they don't make the definition of what a bounty is.
Right.
For the last 30 years, we've been calling them bounties. Now, Roger Goodell, just because the Saints are involved in some type of scandal, he said that a player must be maimed. That's not necessarily what a bounty is. A bounty is something, you're going to reward someone, you're going to pay cash or a dinner or pick up some other type of fare for them as your teammate. Like, that is a bounty also.
So, yeah, so in other words, it's more of a performance bonus or for lack of a better, a protection bonus for
Well, insurance,
Yes.
especially as a wide receiver or a quarterback, like every quarterback, especially every prominent quarterback in the league, he has protection.
Right.
I mean, it's built in. If you take a cheap shot on the quarterback, it's on for everybody on the team and on the offense. Like, that's just one of the written rules within the game.
Now, listen, both of you played, and Jerry, you were there forever. Tim, you've been around for several teams. This can't be unfamiliar to either one of you, right?
For me, it's like a code of honor. If you got someone that's trying to take you out, the offensive line, they're going to deal with it. You got players like that. They say, look, I got your back. And it's just like in any other sports. You look at hockey, if you try to take out that superstar, then all of a sudden that enforcer's going to come,
right,
and he's going to defend that guy. Same thing in baseball. In football, it's the same way. Those guys would take care of you.
Jerry, when you were in your prime, you were the prime receiver in the NFL. Do you think people had bounties on you when you were playing?
Oh, without a doubt. I know that. I knew they wanted to take care
And
of
it was built in that the linemen were going to take care of you.
And the linemen, the thing about those guys, they know to take care of that superstar. And the reason why is, and Tim, the reason why is because they know that, okay, that guy's messing with my money. Because if they get to the playoffs, if they get to the Super Bowl, that's extra money for those guys. And if those guys had a dinner or something, I would pay for that dinner. Just for them having my back that way.
And I think it's a great point. It's great to have you guys here because that's the example, and it's because you guys were at the elite, where you were in your career as receivers, and the threat was the opposing team. It's no different for quarterbacks. Look at, if Eli Manning gets hit late, look at the way those guys would run to his defense. Aaron Rodgers gets hit. You watch the offensive lineman sprint over to whoever hit him late. That's what you do. You get in the back of your teammate, you protect them. And from a quarterback's perspective, you guys talk about buying dinners or whatever it is. What does a quarterback do for his offensive lineman at the end of the year? When he's been protected,
Watches, something like that.
watches, four-wheelers, cars, you name it, there's a reward for protecting them from the guys. At the end of the day, we're trying to knock them out of the game.
Terrell Davis, running back for the Broncos, also awarded his offensive lineman for the 2000 season because they allowed him to do what he could do.
Chris's point, though, about what the bounty is, and the definition of the bounty, I think, is a good one, because the narrative of this whole thing,
It's all framed by the Saints
in
discussion.
terms of player safety and everything, is all falling into this bounty discussion, and they don't always go together. And quite honestly,
The reason why we got in this conversation was, I'm trying to defend my stance on that the suspension for the players is too long. Why is it too long? Because this has been a part of the National Football League for a long time.
Right.
Jonathan Vilma did not invent this. He should not be suspended for a season. This has been part of the NFL. What Romanowski said, that's a sidebar. Like, this is about these guys. Like, this has been going on. This is not, they didn't invent this.
Right, this isn't something new in New Orleans. To that point, Jerry, did you ever do something like what Chris said there? Hey, look, this guy says he's going to after me. Take care of me today.
You know, the offensive line, they just knew. They would just jump and say, hey, Jerry, I'm going to take care of that. And the thing about me, going into a ball game, Chris, I had guys to say to me that, look, I'm going to take you out of the ball game today. And I knew that. I knew that they were trying to take me out of the ball game. I have had fans that were sitting behind me say,